Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. All praises are Allah's, the Lord of all worlds, and may His peace and blessings be upon our Master, the Holy Prophet Muhammad, and his pure immaculate Ahlul Bayt. The theme is spiritual wayfaring, Sayru Suluk. After discussing the means of channelizing some important mental emotions, we started covering a number of noble ethical traits. We started with patience, sabr, and then sidq. And then last night we covered the concept of rida, total satisfaction before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And today we want to start a new station. فَمَنْ عَمِلَ بِرِضَايْ أُعَرِّفْهُ شُكْرًا لَا يُخَالِطُهُ الْجَهْلِ. And whoever acts according to my satisfaction, I shall familiarize him with a gratitude, with a shukr that isn't mixed with any ignorance. So inshallah tonight I want to speak about this concept of shukr. First, it's worth noting that shukr is a concept shared by all civilizations, because here one's rationality dictates the necessity of possessing this quality. One's fitra invites one to this important ethical trait. All people of all cultures regard it necessary to thank another or compensate one's virtue with goodness. So I'll start the debate with one or two traditions and then we'll continue inshallah. There's a holy tradition that states ثَلَاثٌ لَا يَضُرُّ مَعَهُنَّ شَيْءٌ. There are three things that if possessed by someone, they won't be harmed. Ash-shukru inda ni'mah is one of them. When one displays gratitude on receiving blessings, these people won't be harmed if they possess this shukr. On receiving blessings, they won't be harmed. They may encounter afflictions, but they won't be harmed by the afflictions. Another tradition states, الدائم الشاكر له من الأجر كأجر السائم المحتسب. One who eats and is grateful for it, his or her reward is the reward of one who fasts with obedience. وَالْمُؤَافَ الشَّاكِرِ لَهُ مِنَ الْأَجْرِ كَأَجْرِ الْمُبْتَلَى السَّابِرِ. One who's healthy and is grateful for it, his or her reward is tantamount to one who is afflicted with something but is patient. وَالْمُؤْتَى الشَّاكِرِ له من الأجر كأجر المحروم القانع. One who receives donations and is grateful for it is shakir. His or her reward is tantamount to one who's suppressed and is content with it. One who's suppressed, not one who's oppressed. One who is suppressed. So these two traditions, I just wanted to start the debate with them to just highlight the importance and significance of the shakir, one who displays gratitude before Allah. So what is this reality of shukr? What does the essence of it constitute? There are two perspectives amongst the scholars. The first perspective is that shukr is when man is grateful with respect to the bestower of blessings, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the effects of this display the manifestations of this display of gratitude, is exhibited in the grateful person's heart, tongue, and actions. The one who is grateful, is shakir, manifests oneself in a number of different ways. This shukr can be manifested in a number of different ways, through the heart, through the tongue, and through actions. We're going to go through each of them and then explain what they mean and go through traditions which back them up. The heart's manifestation of shukr is tantamount to humility and love. Humility, being humble before the bestower, and loving the bestower. This humility and love together constitutes the shukr, gratitude of the heart. Ja'far, son of Abu Talib, was sent to Ethiopia by the Holy Prophet to disseminate the holy message. And he met up with the king of Ethiopia at the time, Najashi. And there's a tradition which relates a dialogue between Ja'far, son of Abu Talib, and the king. فَقَالَ لَهُ جَعْفَرُ Ja'far said to the king, أَيُّهَا الْمَلِكُ فَمَا لِي أَرَاكَ جَالِسًا عَلَى التُّرَابِ وَعَلَيْكَ هَذِهِ الْخُلْقَانِ. What am I seeing? You're sitting on the earth, and what are these ragged clothes you're wearing, these garments you're wearing? فَقَالَ لَهُ The king then said to Ja'far, يَا جَعْفَرُ أَنَا نَجِدُ فِي مَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ عَلَى عِيسَى أَنَّ مِنْ حَقِّ اللَّهِ عَلَى عِبَادِهِ أَن يُحْدِثُوا لَهُ تَوَاضُعًا عندما يحدث لهم من نعمة. The king said, O Ja'far, on perusing what has been revealed to Prophet Isa alayhi salam, I've come to the fact that one of the rights of Allah over his servants is that the servant must always acquire a new habit of tawadu, of humility, acquire a new mode of humility, new actions of humility. Whenever Allah bestows the servant a new blessing, so on receiving a new blessing from Allah, he goes one mode in advance and increases his tawadu with a new action. The king then continues, فَلَمَّا أَحْدَثَ اللَّهُ لِي نِعْمَةً بِمُحَمَّدٍ اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. And when the blessing, when Allah's blessing of the Holy Prophet came to us, when he gave the Holy Prophet to us, أَحْدَثْتُ لِلَّهِ هَذَا التَّوَاضُعُ. Then I then, in turn for that blessing, I increased my tawadu by sitting always on the ground and wearing normal clothes. Because for a king, it's not very simple to sit down on the ground and wear any kind of clothing. It requires a lot of humility. This humility that Najashi exhibited is a sign of that shukr of the heart. So this was the first manifestation. The next manifestation is the verbal manifestation of shukr, and that involves praising and lauding the bestower. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam said, مَا أَنْعَمَ اللَّهُ عَلَى عَبْدٍ مِّن نِعْمَةٍ فعرفها بقلبه وحمد الله ظاهرا بلسانه فتم كلامه حتى تؤمر له بالمزيد. Whenever Allah blesses his servant with a blessing, he or she, the servant, then acknowledges it with one's heart and explicitly praises it verbally. And whenever the servant's words are over, whenever he's finished praising Allah, increased blessings will be ordained for him. Another tradition from Imam Sadiq alayhi salam is where he said, إِذَا أَصْبَحْتَ وَأَمْسَيْتَ فَقُلْ عَشْرَ مَرَّاتٍ. During every morning and night, say the following invocation 10 times. Allahumma, O Allah, ma asbahat bi min ni'matin aw afiyatin fi dinin aw dunya famink. Whatever blessings and mercy of this world and of my religion that I have received, it was from you. Lakal hamd, all praises are yours. Wa lakal shukr, all thanks are yours. Biha alayya ya Rab, hatta tarda wa ba'da rida. All thanks are yours to the extent that you be satisfied and even more. That was the invocation. And then the Imam continues and says, فَإِنَّكَ إِذَا قُلْتَ ذَلِكَ كُنْتَ أَدَّيْتَ الشُّكْرَ مَا أَنْعَمَ اللَّهُ بِهِ عَلَيْكَ فِي ذَلِكَ الْيَوْمِ وَفِي تِلْكَ اللَّيْلَةِ. And whoever says this invocation 10 times every day, every 24 hours, it's as if you've accomplished the thanks for the blessings that Allah has bestowed upon you during that day and night. You've compensated your shukr before Allah. You've compensated for all the blessings which Allah has given you during this 24-hour period by saying this 10 times, wholeheartedly. Then we come to the practical manifestations of shukr. And that involves exercising the limbs in order to acquire the bestower's satisfaction, Allah's satisfaction. Imam Ali, Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salam, said, أَقَلُّ مَا يَجِبُ لِلْمُنْعَمِ, the least that is obligatory for he who is bestowed upon, the mun'am. Allah is the mun'im. He bestows the mun'am, those people who receive those blessings. The least that the mun'am must do, and la ya'siya bi ni'matih, is not to sin by means of the blessings he has. That's the least. This is the practical manifestations of shukr. Our hands, our tongue, our legs, these are all ni'mah that Allah has given. The least we can do is not to sin with them. أولى الناس, another tradition by Amirul Mu'mineen, أولى الناس بالإنعام من كثرت نعم الله عليه. With regards to donating to others, priority lies with those who possess an abundance of Allah's blessings. The more blessings you have before you, you have more priority in relation to others. You'll be judged differently in the hereafter. When Allah's judging everyone's donations, how well they've donated, those who have more blessings, more is expected from them. إذا رأيت ربك يتابع عليك النعماء فاحذره. Whenever you see that blessings are coming your way, you're receiving this abundance of blessings from Allah, beware, because your responsibility increases proportionally. You have to give. Another tradition, من أوسع الله عليه نعمة وجب عليه أن يوسع الناس إنعاما. To whoever Allah bestows His blessings, it's obligatory that he must bestow and donate to other people. So these were just a few examples of the practical manifestations of shukr. So that was one perspective, where shukr is being grateful to the bestower of blessings. A second perspective, which is a perspective which Imam had in his 40 hadith, he says that shukr is an internal disposition by means of which, after acknowledging the bestower's blessings, this internal disposition is formed within man, and the three classes of manifestations which are exhibited are manifestations of this internal disposition. Internal disposition, a state of the soul. Those three classes of the heart, the tongue and actions are all effects and manifestations of this state of the soul. Shukr is a state of the soul. The more one's ma'rifah is in relation to the mun'im, these manifestations of this malakah, this disposition, increases qualitatively and quantitatively. Now the true shakir is one who sees everything, all things, all praises from Allah. Now tawakkul is very important. In order to enhance your shukr, the stronger your tawakkul is, the stronger those manifestations of shukr will be displayed. One has to regard Allah as the ultimate cause of causes and see the cosmos as manifestations of His power and mercy. Now, until one doesn't detach oneself from other than Allah, from Masjid Allah, he can't become a true shakir. In chapter 34, verse 13, وَقَلِيلٌ مِّنْ عِبَادِيَ الشَّكُورِ, the servants who are truly grateful, they're a minority. Because it's very difficult to dissociate oneself from other than Allah. If you're not able to dissociate yourself from other than Allah, you'll be locked in the realm of plurality, the realm of creation. You receive these blessings, but you see the blessings as the cause of praise rather than Allah in the realm of unity. It's only if you succeed practically to dissociate yourself from other than Allah will you be able to perform that true perfect shukr. When people do good things to you, it doesn't mean don't thank them. Thank them, but Allah is the cause. You have to thank them, repay them, their gratitude and so on and so forth. But you only see Allah as the cause of all praises. Now Imam Sadiq alayhi salam said, Shukrun ni'ma ijtinabul maharim. Gratitude of blessings is tantamount to refraining from the sins. But this second part is more important. وَتَمَامُ الشُّكْرِ, the essence of shukr, that which shukr really constitutes, قَوْلُ الرِّجَالِ الْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ, is when we say Alhamdulillah, all praises are Allah's. Now how can Alhamdulillah be the essence of shukr? We've said before that whatever exists, whatever is good, because Allah created it. And whatever exists, all existence are manifestations of Allah's attributes. Ismullah, we call it. All perfections are attributes of Allah's manifestations. All perfections are manifestations of Allah's attributes. Whatever good there is, whatever perfection there is, it's Allah's. If you say to your wife, the cooking tonight was lovely, you're praising Allah. If you say, this man is beautiful, you're praising Allah. If you say, this philosopher is very knowledgeable, when you say this praise, you're praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even the idol worshippers, when they praise the idols, they're praising Allah, but they're not aware of it. The important thing is you have to be aware of who you're praising. Because food, beauty, the intellect, they have no independent existence on their own. They're all manifestations of His attributes. All perfections return to Allah. The actualization and termination of these perfect things is a matter external to their existence. Things which become perfected isn't out of their own will. It's due to something external to their existence. It's in Allah's hands. They're just manifestations of His attributes. So tamamu shukr, the essence of shukr, is alhamdulillah. And we say this 10 times a day. We say it. But if we wholeheartedly believe in this, the result will be that we'll firmly believe that we are a nobody. We're nothing. We're worthless. Our essence is worthless. And this helps to eliminate the ego. One will regard Allah in all affairs. But once one attributes praise to other than Allah, someone does something very good, lends you a lot of money, you become so ecstatic that you forget Allah. That means you've locked yourself in the realm of plurality. You receive so much help, you actually think that man is helping you. You have to thank that man or woman. But that ecstasy makes you forget Allah sometimes. Once you attribute praises to other than Allah, forgetting Allah, out of the equation, then that's the beginning of your spiritual downfall, and many spiritual side effects will arise. Okay, now let's go through a number of positive consequences and effects for having shukr before Allah. One benefit is the augmentation of blessings. Chapter 14, 7, وَإِذْ تَأَذَّنَ رَبُّكُمْ لَإِنْ شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. Recall when your Lord proclaimed, if you are grateful, I shall increase your blessings. The more your manifestations of shukr actualized, the more blessings will follow. And it's not only material blessings, these are spiritual blessings, depending on the level of shukr. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam said, Man u'tiya shukr, u'tiya ziyada. Whoever has been granted shukr, or this disposition of shukr, will be granted an abundance of blessings. Another benefit is that Allah will express His gratitude. Allah will be shakir to one who is shakir. And this is a very lofty status. When Allah is thanking you, in reply to your shukr, Allah is now shakir. Chapter 447. مَا يَفْعَلُ اللَّهُ بِعَذَابِكُمْ إِن شَكَرْتُمْ وَآمَنْتُمْ وَكَانَ اللَّهُ شَاكِرًا عَلِيمًا. Why should Allah punish you if you're grateful and you have faith? Allah is all appreciative. He is all knowing. The prevention of afflictions. If you're shakir, afflictions won't be realized upon you. You'll encounter them, but you won't be harmed by them. Shukrun ni'am ismatun minan niqam. Having gratitude before the blessings will act as an immunity against the afflictions, punishments. However, not expressing gratitude before Allah has a number of negative consequences too. One is you'll be punished for that. Chapter 14, verse 7, لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. If you're grateful, Allah's blessings will increase before you. However, وَلَإِن كَفَرْتُمْ. If you're ungrateful, إِنَّ عَذَابِي لَشَدِيدٌ. Verily my punishment will be severe. You have to be grateful. It's not that Allah requires you being grateful. The fact is, if you're not grateful, you're polluting your own self, the soul. You're opening the gates to sinning once the soul is polluted. And as a result of that, the punishment will come in the hereafter. The soul has to be harmonized. It's part of the fitrah. Being grateful is part of your fitrah. This fitrah has to be refined and revived in the right way. You being ungrateful, the fitrah will suffer. The more you veil the fitrah, then the probability of sinning and going the wrong way becomes high. Another negative consequence is that blessings may testify against you. Imam Ali, Amir al-Mu'mineen, said, أَحْسِنُوا صُحْبَةَ النِّعَمْ قَبْلَ فَرَاغِهَا. Make the best of it when accompanied with blessings, before being separated from them. Make the most of it. فإنها تزول وتشهد على ساهبها بما عمل فيها. Because they will go away, these blessings, and bear testimony against their owners with respect to what they were used for action-wise. So, you have hands, you have a tongue, you have different blessings which Allah has given you. Make the most of it before you get old, where the nature of those blessings will be less and less, and your potential will be lowered in proportion to your age, for example. Make the most of it. In chapter 24, verses 23 and 24, referring to the sinners, the Quran reads, "They shall be cursed in this world and the hereafter, and there shall be a great punishment for them on the day when their tongues and their hands and their feet shall bear witness against them concerning what they used to do. يَوْمَ تَشْهَدُ عَلَيْهِمْ أَلْسِنَتُهُمْ وَأَيْدِيهِمْ وَأَرْجُلُهُمْ بِمَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ." The blessings weren't used correctly. And finally, those who are ungrateful will experience immediate torture on dying. The soul will suffer burden, the pressure of the grave. This pressure of the grave is not a physical event. The process of the soul's detachment from the body is one which causes the soul great stress, distress, pain, spiritual pain. All the vicious attributes one has gained and has become accustomed to during the worldly life will appear before one in the grave. It's a very difficult process. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam said, he narrated from the Holy Prophet who said, ضغطة القبر للمؤمن كفارة لما كان من تضييع النعم. This pressure of the grave is a kafara, expiation, atonement for believers who used to waste blessings, use them inappropriately. So these are traditions which are from the Imams. In the beginning, I started with this hadith. فَمَنْ عَمِلَ بِرِضَاي, and whoever acts according to my satisfaction, in accordance with my rida, أُعَرِّفْهُ شُكْرًا, I'll familiarize him with a shukr, with a gratitude that لَا يُخَالِطُهُ الْجَهْلِ, has no traces of ignorance associated with it. An ignorance-free shukr. What does this ignorance mean here? This ignorance is that ignorance with respect to the bestower, with respect to Allah. Sometimes when people acknowledge blessings, they don't see them as manifestations of Allah's attributes. They look at the worldly causes and they forget the ultimate cause of causes. In that realm of plurality, they forget Allah when they encounter these blessings. This is ignorance. They think that these blessings are independent entities for themselves. But they're not. These are manifestations. These are all Ismullah. We only have one independent source, entity, and that's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All else is independent. But those who amila biridai, those who do act in accordance with Allah's satisfaction, they thank Allah for everything that occurs in their life, be it good or bad. So there's a very fine and delicate line between shukr and rida. The key is not to be drowned in the realm of plurality. That's the key. To help one not to get drowned, tawakkul is important for that shukr to be led to fruition. But the true shakir is one who's firmly positioned in the realm of unity. He thanks the people, or he thanks all the blessings he receives, but he sees Allah in that thanking. Okay, that finishes tonight's discussion on shukr. Inshallah, we'll continue tomorrow with another important station, that of haya, modesty. Wa sallallahu ala Muhammad wa alihi.